Nepal. Again, EnVision taking on NRG.
Again, cold and frosty. My ideal environment coming from the north. Summer is coming, and I am not very pleased.
Well, yeah, you are going to be here in the summer time, and Los Angeles summer's not the greatest, so enjoy it while you can, Andrew. Now, we are loading once again onto Sanctum to start it all off. Nothing too wonky coming out, but Stratus will be picking up the Sombra for the NRG squad. Now, EnVision, they're just going to be running standard 76 along with that Junkrat.
And Bud's is a very, very good Junkrat. Let's not underrate this EnVision squad where they've been together for a long time, a lot of returning faces. Stratus gets a hack on the McGravy in the back, but there's also not really the follow-through with how NRG is running this at the moment. So he's going to back out. It will let NRG go a little bit further up, and they got Jaru. Jaru got caught out bouncing Junkrat bomb, and they get Crimzo as well as Damon. Ends up with 3! Damon, just a casual flank around the side, starts out slow, ends up high, and it's going to be NRG with the first take of the round.
Yeah, Damon with the 4K towards the end of that fight. I mean, he just found a great angle inside the cubby, and no one was able to dislodge him. No one even turned an eye towards him at all, and so now he's backing away. He's already got the tire. This is going to be a great way to stall out, waiting for the rest of his team's ultimates.
And you see the difference between him and Bud's here. He has the tire far earlier, and I mean, why not? You killed 4 people towards the end, and that's why you see him in the side room. He's backing out. He's waiting for the call to go, okay, EnVision has moved in. Great. Now I can bring out the tire, and there you have it. Tire coming out here from Damon. They lost Smec, so this has to hit to equalize right now. Going to the back line, goes on Theresa, but doesn't kill the Fortify, keeping the Theresa alive as Buds now gets to work. A little bit of Junkrat back and forth here as Buds clears away for EnVision.
And this is one of the difficulties about trying to run that composition. Jaru, once he gets onto the high ground, you need someone to try and deal with him. With Smex getting pulled off the map early, that just allowed Jaru all the free space in the world. You saw how far pushed up he was. And so EnVision take control of the point. NRG only securing 40% now, but Stratus, he has built up his EMP for this fight.
NRG's in a fine spot here. They're going to go in together. They're going to try and make this EMP work out in one big decisive push. EnVision, their best chance here would be have the tire out before the EMP takedown 2. And no, they dropped the EMP on the point, and I don't know what that was, but it wasn't good. EnVision, they play around the EMP. They run over 2 in the back. And, sorry, EnVision, that is, and that's going to put an end to this NRG push.
That was odd. Stratus, you could see the decision-making there. It was very scattered. He jumps in, and he decides, well, no one's near me, but I'm going to use this anyhow. He swaps off onto the Soldier 76 now.
I mean, it was just a bad EMP, pure and simple, and it was followed up by an even better run by EnVision where they run down 2, which has now put NRG in a very big hole here. They have both support ultimates. We'll see if they use both here. EnVision, though, can count power for power. They open up with the Valkyrie, and now they're going to go in. They're going to be forcing NRG back. Damon's off on a stealth mission right now. It's been effective. Catches Junkrat from behind. Damon finishes off Buds, and this is actually quite good for NRG here. Butcher's in the corner, drops the bongos, the supercharger, and it's Damon once more who opens the way off a sneaky play and even catches Mercy in the teeth with that last bomb.
Yeah, Damon just being completely territorial. He says, this is my cubby, no other Junkrats allowed. Now he's gonna go ahead and charge up forward, get some free poke off, try to build up that rip tire. He's already at 93% now, will have it as EnVision make their next encroachment onto the point.
EnVision gonna have to use Transcendence as the main goal here, but Rob Deb, formerly Rob 412. Oh, Shiny just dropped 2 in the pit. Well, you can't transcend, you can't float that much. And that's just going to be an easy fight here for EnVision. Shiny with the monster play to make this happen.
Yeah, I mean, you have to understand Theresa, that she's here for a reason. It's great because you get to combine her with, of course, the Junkrat, but her halt does so much, and people underestimate the actual hitbox of it, I guess, the detection of it. There are some times where you think you have broken line of sight of it, where she can still pull you down.
This is going to come down to tires. Both Junkrats are going to have a tire into this fight. Damon has it up a little bit earlier. You have Transcendence on both sides, it's a wash, but of course it doesn't really matter if you get hit by a tire. And oh, Stratus taken down by Crimzo early. And speaking of tires, tire versus tire in the back. One tire kills another, they neutralize. But speaking of neutralize, Jar on the back, Tac Visor, all sorts of room. Gunning down NRG as they try to come back on the point. And really, off of that halt from iShiny, EnVision was able to get back onto the point with minimal resources, and NRG did not have a way through.
Yeah, Shiny's been doing a fantastic job on that Orisa. We saw a number of environmental kills there, but ultimately that double kill was really what opened up the way for them to take Sanctum. And so now as we move on to Village, it's going to be Jaru to try his hand at the Sombra for the EnVision squad. NRG, I am hoping to see this. I want this to be real. Doomfist, possibly?
Yes. And also, I need more excitement out of you, Jamerson. It's not Doomfist, but it's like, Doomfist is actually a possibility here. I mean, we still might be getting debated, but I want to believe.
There we go.
Come
Gates
on.
open.
Let's go, baby. Doomfist out.
But this is going to be difficult because Doomfist is all dependent upon his abilities. The hack is there, and it is onto Stratus. He gets focused down.
Doomfist out! With a completely different meaning. Okay, well, that didn't work for NRG. We'll see if Stratus stays on the Doomfist after that Gambit, but the Gambit very ineffective as apparently Doomfist rock hard abs can be neutralized by hacking.
Yeah, it looks like there's a Sombra virus going around, so now Stratus has caught it, so he will swap off onto Sombra here. As the point unlocks, he's going to be EnVision to take it. Now, if they can walk away with this, that's the map victory for them.
All right, well, the Doomfist stream is dead. We are going more standard, as you've just mentioned. We see Damon here on the left for NRG. Looking for tanks, primarily, getting involved in a little Tracer v Tracer. Of course, because the enemy Tracer is marked, he's going for it. Butcher, though, a little bit far out, taken down early. Both Winstons out of the fight, the tank pressure is real. EnVision, they get the Transcendence up early in the fight, but it's not going to be used in time to save McGravy. Crimzo, still in the back, hasn't had a chance to use it. He can still use it if necessary here, but now you've lost so many people. The bomb comes from Damon, swings the fight towards NRG. Now it's time to save it. No, okay.
Has to use that Transcendence. He was dropped down low.
Bold. That's now buying time for people to get back on the point. It's faith in Buds, and yet the faith in Buds is deserved. Buds just dives in off the Transcendence and kills 3. Fine. If Buds can do that off the Transcendence, that was worth. Well done, EnVision.
That was close. Stratus started off the fight, getting the hack off onto Butcher, and he wasn't able to jump away. And you know, when you're close, that spread of that MAC-10 does so much damage. And ultimately, they weren't able to capitalize upon it now. So EnVision, they're sitting at 62% here. But Fire, he's got his sound barrier ready. Will Stratus be there to counter it?
Ooh. Crimzo getting robbed early on. Stratus now gonna have to use his EMP to equalize, and it's too late in the fight to really use it. Use it now, probably not gonna end in your way. Fight going back and forth a little bit more even, but again, it's Buds. That's the backbone behind this team right now, getting cleanup kill after cleanup kill. And you know, it's good to see Buds back in Tracer again. Usually it's been Jaru, but because Jaru's on the Sombra, you have the swap.
Yeah. Jaru has been having a pretty good game on this Sombra so far. Take a look, he's even gonna build up his EMP. What a crazy excursion all the way over to the spawn point of EnVision. Sound barrier has come on out, NRG getting very aggressive.
They had to use the barrier way earlier than they would have liked. It's not even a mode where you strip it off with EMP. Although Jaru gets caught, there will be no EMP now. But here's Buds, he's down. Damon is taking down the top 2 threats, clearing the way for NRG here. Crimzo, Transcendence after killing Stratus. It's going to be faded here in a moment as Damon again continues to get to work, but his team is falling around him right now. He's lost to Zenyatta. He's up against 3, and it's too much even for Damon to bear as EnVision is able to restabilize. Overtime ticks down. It's going to be EnVision taking map number 1.
EnVision. What else is there to say? That was actually just kind of an old-fashioned beating. Buds went off. Stratus had a really rough game. Tried to play One Punch Man. Unfortunately, didn't pay his Crunchyroll subscription, so he's not on that one. But
I'm just glad open. I was like Doomfist out. It's like Doomfist.
Yeah, but I mean that's kind of what you expect when you see a Doomfist going straight into a Sombra.
Yeah.
So like he was mid-air, I believe, in his uppercut. I forget. I want to call it the Tiger uppercut, but I know it's not.
Tiger uppercut. No, that is a different game company. But here's the thing about the entire situation is that you've picked a hero that is entirely ability dependent, and now you've thrown him into a hero that disables abilities.
I mean, to Stratus's credit, immediately switched off. You know, it was one of those things that came out, died. It's not like he tried to force the Doomfist into the waiting Sombra. He kind of came out, took his death, and then just kind of moved along.
I wish he did, just so you could see a moment where Sombra was mid-hack and just actually got punched right before it went off. I mean,
nothing would make me happier than to watch that smug Sombra.
Doomfist mains everywhere, just waiting for that moment to see it on an OW broadcast.
There are tens of us.
I was going to say, not dozens, not dozens.
No, tens.
But yeah, very dominant looking victory there for EnVision in that first map. And, we watched EnVision last week. They played against Simplicity. They did come away with the 3-1, but it's a little bit difficult to figure out exactly where they are in terms of power level.
Mm-hmm. I would say so. I mean, going into this, because NRG had a really good showing against Fusion University, I was a little bit more bullish. And who knows? Things can change up as you go into different map types here, where, of course, Control sometimes teams get squashed and then have a better showing later on. But EnVision, again, they're also a dark horse. They have a very veteran roster, players that have done well in Contenders before, certainly in the latter part of 2017. So if EnVision is able to take this, not really a surprise. And again, it's both of these teams, EnVision and NRG, that are sort of in the dark horse spot, looking to upset Optic or Fusion later on in the tournament.
Well, there was more than just Sombras and Doomfist. There were also Orisas putting on some pretty fun shows here. Shiny specifically, just going ahead and reminding you that if you stand too close to the edge there, she will pull you down into the abyss.
And think about the impact that has, right? Where normally to take a fight, you need to use multiple ultimates. You have to invest a lot of your power to go in, or you could just throw two fools off a cliff.
I mean, it's, we've talked all night basically about, what makes a good Overwatch team. It's mechanical ability, it's the right compositions, it's knowing the maps, and then there's kind of this fourth area where it's, okay, you can't make these silly mechanical errors, and that is definitely a silly mechanical error when you let Orisa pull you off the edge.
I mean, it's both to a degree. I think it's a good heads-up play by the Orisa, but you're right, is that you should be aware of the fact, okay, there's Orisa here, maybe not be so close, and then losing one, fine, but losing two, you can't really come back from that in most situations.
Absolutely not. Second match is going to be Hollywood. First time we're visiting tonight. Spent a lot of time in Numbani, and again, this was NRG's pick, as they did lose the last map.
Yeah, interesting pick. Maybe Stratus wants to try and play that far on the first point there. I mean, this has really been a great matchup, and I want to say it's been mostly great for Jaru so far. I mean, he's had so much space to work with. We saw on Nepal, on Sanctum, that Soldier 76, when he does have the space to work with, he just lays out the damage.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up Stratus as well, because when I was watching last week, that was where he most impressed me, was when he had that pocket Mercy. He was playing as the Pharah. He was getting a lot done, so Hollywood definitely a lot of room for him to operate on that Pharah pick if he wants to. Yeah,
and again, I don't really see Sombra as one of his great high points, so I think seeing Stratus be able to go on Genji, on the Pharah, that's what we know he's very good at, and you don't have to play into the Sombra meta to a degree. I mean, teams have been successful without it. Obviously, Control seems to be a little bit more favored for teams right now, but look, I'd be happy to see Stratus just go to what we know he's good at, which would be more conventional projectile heroes.
Yeah. Let's see if he does just that. We're going to hop on into map number 2. This is going to be Hollywood. Again, NRG taking on EnVision.
Too much sun, too much brightness. It's late in the day, Jamerson. I can't handle this.
We haven't seen sun in the last, 6 hours, ZP. What are you talking about, too much sun?
I mean, I might be a vampire. Any amount of sun is too much sun.
We need a window somewhere here in the studio.
No.
Don't forget that it's actually still some sunlight out right now. Daylight savings over.
Do you want me to melt on the desk?
Well...
Oh, okay, don't finish that thought. Regardless, we are getting into it here rather quickly. NRG on the attack, and, well, it's not quite a full Slambulance strategy, but it is close. It will be triple tank, backed up by a Junkrat.
Backed up by the Junkrat. That's going to be Stratus on it now. They are making their way through security. The first hook misses by Smex, but they have gained control over the cafe, getting rid of that hacked health pack.
They go to the cafe, they pick up their lattes, and now they're ready to move forward. Their names are on their drinks, and Smex looking for a hook, not gonna connect early on. And EnVision, they've given up a degree of control on the point. They're still around, they're still contesting, but it's NRG using the Moira to heal everyone up. You see Rob at 56%, soon to be 60. Their goal for NRG is just withstand. Withstand until you get the Coalescence up. Buds almost goes down from Smex, but takes him down. He was on the edge. Now EnVision moves in. Buds blows up too with the Pulse Bomb. Buds has won this fight for EnVision.
This is the same story we saw last week when you try to run this really tank-heavy composition that allows a Tracer just build it up really quickly. That was an early Pulse Bomb, early even EMP coming out from Jaru here on EnVision.
Yeah, and to your point on ult charging, it's not just the Tracer, it's that Jaru has built up EMP like he's old Sombra. Old Sombra not going out of style, at least when you're shooting these thicker bodies that NRG is running right now. And Buds, he's going to be coming around the flank, but who he's going for is people that can't get away after the EMP goes out. Jaru, a great position, the EMP. Is he going to drop it? Doesn't use it yet, on the verge of getting taken out, no. Drops the EMP finally, was thinking he could get away without it, but immediately, 2 kills from the EMP, the Coalescence coming up from fire just for good measure in this war of energy beams, and it's going to be EnVision taking the fight once more.
That was great because Coalescence is a channel, and so the EMP does actually strip that also. So they were robbed of that extra healing power coming out from Rob. And so now he's got to reset himself. He's at 20% now towards another Coalescence here. NRG, they have been forced to bank their ultimate. They're coming up on 5 right now, but EnVision have the tools to answer for it.
If NRG doesn't take this fight, you're going to see emergency swaps because they will be in deep trouble. They're moving in, they're giving Stratus room to work with. There's the sound barrier, and they lose Butcher immediately. Now this tire must equalize. The tire out from Stratus, going around, looking for a target, and not going to get anything here. Now Bud's coming around the backside, and it's Jaru, just again laying the damage on the Sombra. They weren't looking at him, they were trying to look towards Cafe, and EnVision well playing here as Jaru continues to feast.
Yeah, EnVision really did play around that EMP well. They were waiting for Jaru to be able to connect on to, of course, Reinhardt, and then from there they sent out both bombs. Now the pulse bomb was the one that connected, not the self-destruct, but still now Jaru, he's at 91% towards another EMP as we have huge swap-offs coming out from NRG.
And they're not going to have any ults here, but they also didn't have any choice. What they were doing wasn't working. They threw everything into that push. Now you hope and pray that Damon and Stratus can just pick someone off with good coordination here. The problem that they have is that the Coalescence is driving them back, and when the beam is over, the fun is still there. Jaru has the EMP. He's going to go to the back line. It's Zenyatta for dinner right now. Hasn't used the EMP yet. Tried to take him out without using it. Meanwhile, Smex gets demegged, and this patience from Jaru. Most Zenyatas, or most Sombras, would have just destroyed the Zenyatta with the EMP. They hold, and that means they get for the final fight.
I like that they held onto it. Jaru almost did get that elimination onto Ra, but now he should most certainly be able to, but he had to translocate away from the bomb.
He gets away from the bomb, the EMP is still up. Moving back in, drops it. Lucio can't get away as Buds continues to clean up on what Jaru sets up. EnVision just well positioned the entire time. NRG able to get nothing done. Their tank gambit fails, and their late swaps not being effective either.
5 seconds left. NRG, Matt dash onto the point now. It's going to be Genji. Stratus getting there first. No, it's Damon, but the sound barrier has been used, and as soon as it fizzles, look to EnVision to push forward.
Stratus might get played right now. EnVision, they're going to commit with both support ults here. They're healthy. If they can just keep a few people alive, they've already lost 2. Stratus, a hope and a prayer, 72 HP, cuts down 1 and gets dunked on. The beam pushes him to the side. Fire was ready. And Damon, one of the last ones alive, Pulse Bomb, not going to get what he's looking for there. EnVision holding here on Hollywood, and they've set themselves up for a quick 2-map victory.
Quick 2-map victory indeed. NRG only able to secure about 35, maybe 40, yeah, 39.6%. And that is one hell of a win condition if I've ever seen one. EnVision now on the verge, starting off with a 2-0 lead up against NRG.
And what we saw there, Jamerson, that was the dark side of tank-heavy strategies, which is that they are front-loaded in power. They give you an advantage on the first and second pushes that you do. But if the other team is able to hold on, karma just completely shifts against you. Suddenly, it's the other side, the defense that was able to hold against it, that has you in check, because if you stay with tanks, now they have ultimates, it's probably not going to work out. And if you swap, you're way behind and might not be able to get anything up anyways. So when you run a heavy tank gamble, it is just that. It is a gamble, and you better hope that you get in on those first 2 pushes.
Yeah, one of the most important parts about that triple tank setup is that if you're running that Roadhog, he is a lot of your damage. He is a lot of your initiation. You need to connect with the hooks. Smex did not connect with them, and that's what slowed them down so much. I believe his first 3 hooks missed, and at that point, that's already 30 seconds gone.
NRG, they can still win here. This is not a draw situation. They did get a tick and a little bit of spare change. But think about what that's going to require here. It's going to require EnVision to not win a single team fight, essentially, because they don't even have to get full progress. They just need 40%.
Yeah, so all they have to do is just really force them off the point here. If Buds goes with the Bastion, you know, I'm not completely against it. I wouldn't advise it.
It's a team of liars right now, Jamerson. They're all lying until they finally select their final heroes here, which is closer to it, although Fire, he's going to swap. Probably.
Yeah, just a Sonic Arrow out for some information. Make sure there's no cheese headed his way, and he does go over to that Lucio now. It's just going to be standard Jaru once again back on that Sombra. They spotted out Damon, the Sombra of his own.
And remember, EnVision, they are playing with house money here. Although Shiny getting hooked, that makes things a little bit rougher. They get to reset. But again, they only need one good fight, not even a full fight.
And Buds, he ran back to spawn.
Okay.
He's going on to the Hanzo, and Fire has swapped off now. He's going to get the pocket. He's going to be able to get the damage boost out.
I'm fine with this. If they get one pick, that's probably enough. Although, speaking of picks, Jaru gets caught by the hook in the follow-through. So even though Smex had a difficulty the last push around, he's doing really well versus EnVision as Buds gets nothing with that scatter arrow.
Yep, the trap was in the way, soaked up some of that damage, and Stratus will finish off Buds. So EnVision being stopped just a bit here. They will be able to res him back into this, but take a look. It's
a sneaky
Secret
Winston.
Agent Shiny.
Sneaky Winston to the back, and meanwhile, Damon looking for Zenyatta, completely alone, doesn't get any help. It's Winston coming back far too late, and EnVision's offense has not looked good here. They have just been getting picked off one by one. NRG has kept them staggered well, and they're about to be down the first minute and a half here.
Yeah, there hasn't been a single team fight yet. It's been picks after picks, some mistakes coming out also. Stratus, oh, that's an interesting position to cover your Riptire. I actually haven't seen that before.
I mean, it's a sneaky Junkrat. We are evolving, and that's pretty clear that he's going to be opening up the front with the tire. Buds hooked in. Is he getting saved? He gets into the cafe, but while it goes on, Theresa got not one, but both supports with the Riptire, and just dunks on Buds from above. Rip.
Halt and hook has been so dangerous for EnVision. Almost every time it is up, it has been converted into an elimination for NRG Esports. It is working out well for them, the combination of Smex and Butcher.
And this is very interesting. Now the first 2 minutes are down. NRG has continued to mystify EnVision here. This is going to be EnVision's best chance. You take a look at the ults they have now. If they go through here and get nothing, NRG has a real chance of taking this map. They open up with the Winston leap in. iShiny does have primal range, he just feeds! The follow-through wasn't there! His team wasn't with him. The Dragon Strike was really late from Buds. And NRG, they get the first 2 pickoffs. EnVision does not look coordinated at all right now.
Yeah, that's to say the least. There was about a 3-second separation between the jump from Shiny and then, of course, the boosters out from McGravy. He was not covered at all whatsoever. Shiny didn't even have the Primal Rage, really, as, of course, his backup. And so now EnVision, now down to 1 minute and 10 seconds. They haven't been able to do anything at all so far on the point.
This is so winnable for NRG right now. They've brought themselves out of the abyss, what should have been an easier slam dunk for EnVision. Now fighting against the odds. A late swap to Pharah. But remember, Damon is in the back, has EMP. If EnVision is clumped up at all, this is really going to go well for them. The EMP's dropped. D.Va's going to get DMAC'd early on. It's the first 2 kills going the way of NRG, or at least the DMAC and the kill. And there's no tank line anymore, and yet Buds, room to work with in the back. They ignored the Pharah, and Buds is making them pay for it. Despite it, 3 big Pharah pickoffs, and suddenly NRG is back on the hot seat.
Now we do have the supercharger out, but no one was able to get onto the point. The body block coming out from McGravy. And so with that, EnVision will secure the second map, even though they had so much trouble. They're on point A.
EnVision just said, hey, what if we just swap to Pharah? You think that'd work? Yeah. And then sure enough, they get away from the Butcher-Smex combo there of Roadhog and Theresa, and then Pharah just starts launching rockets at people.
What if we don't get picked before the team fight starts? And, you know, that's what happened.
That's crazy.
They were able to get onto the point and force, actually, I believe, Stratus to play inside the cafe. And once you're inside the cafe, you don't have the same kind of angles that you can shoot out from. And so they did really capitalize upon that.
The other thing, too, is that credit where credit's due, EnVision had a good setup heading in there towards the end, but it also wasn't the best EMP because of that, where I think the EMP was a little bit rushed. NRG, that was a winnable game towards the end. They were very close. They got through the hard part, in no small part due to Smex, where Smex was getting pick-off after pick-off after pick-off, and then NRG just falling short towards the end.
Yeah, NRG maybe not looking fantastic in Nepal, but they did have some big moments here as they were holding this. Again, we had all but given this away to EnVision, but NRG did deliver. We see there the EMP coming out from Jaru Sombra, and then Buds on Tracer to clean up. And, you know, for what, the first 3 or 4 minutes of it, this was just NRG cleaning house.
Yeah, I mean, Buds was doing an outstanding job on that Tracer, and of course, it was backing up that Jaru Sombra play, who's doing an amazing job. I mean, he wasn't dying. He was getting great hacks off. He was making sure that Smex and Butcher couldn't do anything at all. And from there, like, once your tanks are shut down, it's so easy for Buds to continually build up his pulse bomb and get the damage across.
Well, what we saw there was a continual building of Vault's period for the first 2 minutes of NRG's attack, where they were moving in with large tanks that they absorb a lot of damage, but you feed a lot of ultimate. And that's bad because that's the only way that Sombra's going to be getting an EMP almost every other fight now.
Yeah.
And clearly it was bad when they had the early opening start. They were slow, and then Buds ends up killing 3 people, fueled by the pulse bomb he built up in one fight.
Well, EnVision now up 2-0 over NRG, but if you're NRG, I think you're feeling a little bit better after that match. Again, there are clearly some flaws in EnVision's game plan that you might be able to exploit, turn this into a reverse sweep. But for now, we're going to go to a short break. Don't go anywhere. We'll conclude the series when we get back.